Yeah, it was really funny touring around at that point, being in that kind of subculture of audiophiles, because they're a trip, especially when you meet the guy that has uh like the big bankroll and money's no object. And being at that guy's house, just watching. I went to a guy's house to buy, I think to buy my turntable and needle. And this guy lived in a house, and I remember everything was wood. Literally everything in the house was wood. And there's
Or
just such a,
acoustics, yeah.
I'm not even sure why, but just such eccentric people.
Oh yeah, I grew up in a record store, a mom and pop record store. Like I was taken around, when I was a little boy. Then after high school, got a job at the same record store for 3.5 years. So yeah, I've ran into many an audiophile, and a lot of them are good guys. A lot of them are just crazy weirdos. Like if there's a
Yeah.
little tiny scratch on the outside of the LP cover, they won't take it or something. But
Yeah, I've collected a lot of different things in my life, and I've come to and I kind of don't really do it anymore. I've kind of come to realize that for a lot of people, collecting is a nerd way of it's the nerd's baseball bat. Yeah, I collected guitars for a while, and I was never into lording over my guitar or my guitar collection over other people. But like I would go to a guitar show and I would bring a guitar to sell, and there were these nerds that would come with to your table with the express intent of making you feel stupid. They had no interest in buying your product. They just wanted to let you know they knew more than you and your product wasn't as good as you thought it was. And I found that when I was collecting sports cards.
oh
Uh,
sure,
I
that's even worse. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I found that when I was collecting record albums, and it's kind of that was kind of the last straw for me when I collected vinyl. I was like, all right, I've had enough of collecting geeks.
I could see you doing a whole episode of your podcast about collectors because if you're taking it back to psychology, collecting is kind of surrounding yourself with your items until you can't deal with other humans or something like that. Like I've got
I
such a wall of CDs, and I'm slowly like encapsulating myself within my CDs or something. It's like weird that way.
No, I completely agree, Andy, and I think I am going to do a show about it because it to me it's an expression of OCD. It's a way of trying to control your environment, and I find that when I'm obsessing about acquiring something, I'm usually running from some feeling that I don't want to feel, and so now I'm at the point in my life where I'll sit down and write and try to figure out what is this feeling that I'm trying to run from instead of going through the internet for 8 hours trying to find a 1985 Paul Reed Smith.
Yeah, I could totally see that. And yeah, I felt that same way. I was an obsessive CD collector for, 10 plus years. And I would go, man, I've got every album of this band except for this one. I sure would like to go to sleep tonight with that last album so I can, have the full collection. And it would be in my, yeah.
Say.
Yeah, so it'd be in the back of my head. But now my record store closed its doors last month after 28 years. And so I kind of put that to rest, and I'm putting all my effort into this show and being able to kibitz with people and have that be my big obsession and have something positive be my obsession. So hopefully that'll be more productive, I think. So
That sounds like a good idea to me. Connecting to human beings has been the biggest revelation for me in the last 8 years. I got sober about 8 years ago, and you have to connect to other human beings if you want to stay sober, because one of the things that feeds alcoholism and that need to escape is that feeling of being alone and isolating and letting your fears and your thoughts multiply. But when you connect to another human being, the power is taken out of that obsessive thinking. I always feel better after I talk to somebody. Well, usually after I talk to somebody.
yeah, that is totally